Tomatoes are part of our everyday diet. They add flavor and health to our dishes. Its most important constituent, lycopene, is a powerful antioxidant that is known to fight disease. But excess intake of tomatoes can lead to adverse effects. Also, not everybody is recommended to have them in their normal food amounts. In this video, we shall talk about the different ways tomatoes can harm you if taken in excess. Sit back and relax as we take you through. As it's scientifically called Solanum lycopersicum, the tomato belongs to the nightshade family of Solanaceae. Tomatoes originated in the Central and South Americas. They were first used as food in Mexico, and eventually spread throughout the world. Today, the tomato is consumed in many different ways. They can consumed raw, cooked, and as an ingredient in numerous dishes, sauces, drinks, and in salads. Question people ask is, how can tomatoes be harmful to them? Though tomatoes are usually safe for consumption, they can also cause complications in some people. Some of the complications tomatoes can cause include acid reflux, intolerance effects, muscle aches, the list goes on. The Journal of Nutrition study also reported some other disadvantages of eating tomatoes. For instance, acidic foods, fruits, vegetables and caffeinated beverages like coffee and tea have the potential to irritate the bladder. These foods can increase the risk of urinary problems like incontinence. This study reported that products like spicy foods, vitamin C, citrus fruits and tomatoes were all particularly likely to cause bladder problems. Like other nightshade plants, tomatoes contain toxic glycoalkaloids. Green tomatoes are particularly well known for containing glycoalkaloid compounds like solanine, atomatine and dihydrotomatin. Unfortunately, glycoalkaloids can cause gastrointestinal tract disorders and pain when consumed in large amounts. They are also suspected to be the cause inflammation. This means excessive tomatoes consumption can aggravate chronic pain and painful inflammatory conditions like arthritis. It has also been discovered that even the leaves of tomato plant can be unsafe. In large amounts, it can cause vomiting, dizziness, headache, and, in severe cases, even death, according to some research. Surprisingly, the very compound that is responsible for its benefits is the major factor contributing to this side of tomatoes. This compound is called lycopene. Lycopene is safe in most cases. But lycopene supplements may not be safe during pregnancy. Lycopene can also worsen the symptoms of prostate cancer. Lycopene must be used cautiously in patients who have stomach ulcers and other stomach issues. The compound can also cause low blood pressure. Individuals on blood pressure lowering medication must stay away from lycopene. Lycopene can also increase the risk of bleeding and must be avoided by people with bleeding issues. One other side effect common to lycopene intake are chest pain, accumulation of fat under the skin, indigestion, and worsened hot flashes. Lycopene was also discovered to interact with certain cancer chemotherapy cases. Hence, individuals on cancer treatment must be very cautious. Let's talk more about the side effects of tomatoes. 1. Acid reflux, heartburn. Tomatoes are acidic, and they might cause heartburn. Tomatoes are packed with malic and citric acids and can make the stomach produce excessive gastric acid, which is responsible for food breakdown. When the volume of the acid increases, it is forced to flow up the esophagus, causing the symptoms. In fact, even cooking tomatoes may not be of much help. Raw tomatoes and sauced tomato are also listed among the couple of foods that may trigger a reflux. Tomatoes may also worsen the symptoms of GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. According to the University of Maryland Medical Center, it is better to avoid acidic foods like tomatoes, to avoid acid reflux symptoms. 2. Allergies and infections. The symptoms of a tomato allergy occurs immediately after the fruit is consumed. These include hives, skin rashes, eczema, coughing, sneezing, and itching sensation in the throat, and swelling of the mouth, tongue and face. According to a Polish study, tomatoes contain a compound called histamine, that can cause certain allergic reactions. Tomatoes can also cause allergic contact dermatitis, where your skin becomes itchy and swollen after touching the fruit or the leaves. Tomatoes can also lead to itchy lips. Another possible allergic reaction common with tomatoes is a red patch around the eyebrows and eyelids. 3. Kidney problems. According to a report published by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, individuals with advanced chronic kidney disease must limit their intake of potassium. Tomatoes are rich in potassium. People who suffer kidney problems may also need to limit their intake of tomatoes as they contain a lot of water. High potassium levels in the blood, which is one of the causes of kidney disease, could be dealt with by avoiding tomatoes or tomato sauce or anything made of tomatoes. Tomato sauce is also high in oxalate, which is another reason individuals who are sensitive to tomatoes must stay clear of it. 4. Irritable bowel syndrome. Tomatoes, given their irritating skins and seeds, may be one reason for irritable bowel syndrome. And if you already have irritable bowel syndrome, tomatoes can also worsen bloating. Tomatoes are also one of the most common food that may cause intestinal problems. Diarrhea can occur in individuals suffering from tomato intolerance. According to publication by Longwood University, tomatoes are greasy and acidic and must be avoided in case of diarrhea. The University of Minnesota also had another reports that tomatoes could be a source of an organism called Salmonella that causes diarrhea. 6. Excessive sodium. Choosing the lower sodium versions of tomato sauce will be the right choice as most sauces have a high sodium concentration. Even tomato soup can have too much of sodium. Just 1 cup of the soup can contain anywhere between 700 to 1,260 mg of sodium. Canned tomatoes can contain 220 mg of sodium for every half cup. 7. Lycopenadomia. Tomatoes are excellent sources of lycopene, but excessive intake of lycopene can cause lycopenadomia, which is the deep orange coloration of the skin. Though this may not be a health threat, but certainly not very attractive to look at. Excessive consumption of lycopene supplements can also make lycopenadomia to occur. 8. Urinary problems. Acidic foods like tomatoes can irritate the bladder and result in urinary problems. Tomatoes may also cause bladder symptoms, and in certain cases, cystitis, a burning sensation in the bladder. People who are allergic to tomatoes may likely have difficulty in breathing. Conducive mold development can also be linked to tomatoes, and this can cause allergies and respiratory problems according to the United States Department of Agriculture. 10. Tomatoes can also be the cause of acute gastrointestinal upset. Since tomatoes are highly acidic, it is therefore advisable to avoid tomatoes if you are already suffering from acid reflux or heartburn. Tomatoes can also make the stomach to produce more acid, which may cause acute gastrointestinal upset. These side effects simply means we must be careful not to consume tomatoes in excess. That's not all, there are other set of people that must exercise more caution than anybody else. These are the pregnant and breastfeeding mothers. In normal situation, tomatoes are found to be safe for pregnant and breastfeeding women. However, there is insufficient evidence when it comes to large amounts. The best way to go about this would be to consult your doctor. Tomato, especially the sauce, has a strong flavor and can make its way into the breast milk. This can make the baby uncomfortable and irritable. These side effects does not mean you quit tomatoes right away. They also have numerous benefits. What we say is be wary of the side effects, and don't consume them in excess. Tomatoes contain solanine, which is a toxic alkaloid. This alkaloid is a part of the plant's defense mechanism to make the fruit look unappealing to animals. Though all parts of the plant contain solanine, including the fruit, the heaviest concentrations are in the leaves and stems. Hence, consuming tomatoes in normal amounts is not toxic. Now you may have some questions like, can tomatoes be eaten raw? Yes. You just check the acidity content. If you are suffering from acid reflux or any other gastrointestinal issue, raw tomatoes are not advised. Are canned tomatoes dangerous? Yes, in the long run. In fact, any canned food is considered dangerous. This is because the inside of these cans is coated with bisphenol A or BPA, which can pose a health risk. Even otherwise, canned tomatoes are high in sodium, and that is not healthy. Can tomatoes be applied to the face? Yes. They benefit your skin in numerous ways. They tone your skin, improve the texture, and help in exfoliation. But again, the acidity is the problem. If you are allergic to tomatoes, don't use them. What is crystal tomato? Does it have side effects? Crystal tomato is a dietary supplement and food additive that contains natural tomatoes and L-cysteine, an amino acid. It is FDA approved. But it might cause side effects on people who are allergic to tomatoes. Do sun-dried tomatoes have side effects? The one major concern of sun-dried tomatoes is their link with hepatitis. Sun-dried tomatoes can cause severe liver harm, and this depends on the brand. As at now, we do not know which brand stands to be the best. How many tomatoes can I eat in a day? About 1/3 cup of tomatoes in a day. But this quantity depends on individual. Otherwise, 1/3 cup of tomatoes in a day should be fine. 1 serving of cooked tomatoes a day, and several servings of fresh tomatoes a week. You should ideally eat 22 mg of lycopene a day. There are 27 mgs in 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. On a gram-for-gram basis, cherry tomatoes contain more lycopene than large tomatoes. A medium tomato contains around 15 calories. Though tomatoes has side effects, there are still some good reasons why you should be eating tomatoes every day. Here are some of the reasons below. Lycopene, a strong antioxidant. Lycopene repairs DNA damage that can lead to wrinkles and protect skin from premature aging and sun damage. Reduce cancer risk. Fight against inflammation. Improve your eye health. Give more potassium, prevent heart disease. Enjoy better skin. Stabilize blood sugar levels. I will be coming your way again next week. Please leave your comments below and turn the icon bell on. Subscribe please, if you haven't. Stay blessed and stay healthy.